that says Tula Yoga for Wellness. So I am just going to start out with just a quick breathing tool that I use a lot in my classes. I want everyone to sit comfortably in your chair. I want you to take one hand, place it on your heart space, take the other hand and just place it on your abdomen. Let your shoulders soften down, and I want you to just let your eyes close. Just begin to notice your breathing and notice the changes in your body as you breathe. And as you take an inhale, maybe you feel your abdomen expand, your heart space lift a little bit. And as you exhale, just letting it all just soften down. And take 2 more breaths like this. And after your second breath, you can release your hands and open up your eyes. And so that's just a typical breath, like I said, that I use a lot in class. It's a way to calm the mind. It's a way to become a little bit more alert. So I hope that you will be a little more alert for my presentation. All right, so let me get started. Tula Yoga for Wellness. This is me, Kathy Daigneault. I'm the owner of Tula Yoga for Wellness. A little bit about me. I love to cook, I love to travel, and that means everywhere. I am a recovering cat lover who now has 3 dogs. I love things like theater and museums and opera. I love volunteering and helping people. I have a lifelong dream to do some mission work. I love being with family and friends, and I love yoga. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. This is my family. This is my husband, Mike. We've been married for 21 years. This is my daughter, Juliette, who's going into her sophomore year at Syracuse University. My son, John Michael, who is entering his junior year at North Salem. And these are my 3 dogs I mentioned, Tessie, Morty, and Lucy. So how did I arrive here? I had a career in the fashion and home fashions industry and textiles. That business shifted offshore. I had to reinvent myself, and I got very involved with the bank card industry, really up until now. I was still looking for something for myself, and I continued to grow my hobby in yoga, which now this past year has become a business for me. So I've studied yoga as a student for 30 years due to some of my own chronic pain from an accident. I have a 200-hour teacher training from Yoga Culture, which was in Danbury, Connecticut. Then I have a 300-hour therapeutic yoga teacher training, which was from Sacred River in Hartford. The ERY T500 is from Yoga Alliance. And just to explain that a little bit, Yoga Alliance is an international organization of registered yoga teachers. It requires continuous education to maintain your membership. I have 2,000 hours plus teaching. And this past summer, I completed a certification from NYU on yoga and physiology. So what is yoga? The word yoga means union. Which makes it a little different than exercise, because while practicing, we make a mind and body connection. Yoga is thousands of years old. The poses we know as yoga were originally practiced as a way to maintain physical well-being in the body and to prepare for meditation. For me, I think of yoga as moving and breathing while being mindful. I teach alignment vinyasa, and what that means is that we use props and I carefully instruct students in movement to create shapes. So who can do yoga? And I think you guys already know my answer to this, but I'll say it anyway. Everybody and everybody. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. Listen to your body and modify. The big picture is a group that I was teaching at Harvest Moon over the summer, outdoor, lots of body types, lots of experiences. This happens to be all females, but males as well. People who love to stay at home virtually, right? That's a real picture of a young man practicing with his dog, hanging out in relaxation. I work with athletes, I work with aging seniors, I work with special needs adults, and more, but these are just a few. So why am I so passionate about yoga? Personally, I believe that yoga has the ability to help us live a healthier lifestyle. I had some firsthand experience through my own healing, as well as feedback I received from students of mine who see improvements in things like range of motion, less pain, less anxiety, being more calm, improvements in their balance, and even their golf game. But what is very exciting to me is the science and the studies that are supporting yoga as a therapy. Conditions like stress, breathing, the aches and pains we have, building community, and mental health. So just to share with you a little bit about the science of yoga, the medical field is getting behind yoga as a therapy. There are some great studies that have been done to understand the benefits for conditions of the body. And each year, more and more studies are being conducted that include anxiety and depression, scoliosis, osteoporosis, heart disease, stress, blood pressure, mental health, arthritis, and that's to name a few. The National Institute of Health has named September Yoga Awareness Month to increase awareness around the benefits of yoga. The American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons supports yoga, stating, rewards of basic yoga outweigh the potential physical risks. Taking caution, understanding your flexibility, yoga can calm, stretch, and strengthen your muscles and joints. And from what I've been told, it's very rare for the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons to actually get behind any type of therapy. Another one, American Academy of Pediatrics recommends yoga as a safe and potentially effective therapy for children and adolescents coping with emotional, mental, physical, and behavioral conditions. And then Harvard Medical School recommends yoga breathing and meditation for help with stress, heart health, strength, flexibility, balance, better sleep, as well as a host of psychological benefits. And that's from Dr. Khalsa. He's an associate professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School. He also happens to be the director of the yoga science at Yoga Alliance, which is the association that I do belong to. And then with that, I say thank you. And I'll share with you one other thing, and that is Namaste. At the end of a yoga class, you may have always been wondering, what does that word mean? And we take our hands, we bring them to our heart center. We say the word Namaste to one another, and that's really just a form of respect, honoring one another. All right, so with that, thank you so much. And I am open for some questions if we have time. And I will stop sharing.
I have a question for you, Kathy.
Sure.
So the classes that you teach in the studio,
yes,
you have those, you also do corporate, right? Corporate, for corporate. Do you ever do anything like, you had mentioned this one place that you had gone to. Is that where somebody can subcontract you out to do, or do you do any events or anything special like that throughout the year?
Yeah, no, I do. I have, and usually I'll post them on social media. Right now, I'm putting a group together for teens. Some of the work that I do with the specific conditions actually happen to be privates, whether they're groups or they're just individual private sessions with me if someone's working through a condition. But I also try to put together groups like the corporate, where someone could hire me, whether it's at their place or in my studio space. I'm also putting a group together in September for teens. So there's lots of different categories where I guess what I do is I try and find the need, and then I try to put a group together around that need, that group maybe that has that common interest.
Let me know if, well, I guess Judy probably has the best connection to teens right now in the area, but
yeah,
she also has a, there's a theater company that's there, might be able to help you get some connections in the schools.
Yeah, that would be great. And I can share the flyer. What I've done with the teen group, it's been shared with a psychologist that I know puts together groups of kids, and a guidance counselor. I'm actually going to reach out to the guidance counselors in Carmel and Brewster as well. And I did it with the one in North Salem, and she was very interested. So.
Great. Does anybody else have any questions for Kathy? I think we need to do a trip, Jim Newhouse. maybe we should do a trip over to Kathy's studio one day for our, for Brewster and Friends. Maybe connection with the Carmel chapter staff. How does that sound, Kathy?
Yeah, that would be great. Sure.
That
think-
sounds, that would be great, and it would
Yeah.
not be difficult.
All
Okay.
right. Let
Just
us
need
know
to keep-
how we can help.
I
Just-
did that for the Brewster Chamber, and you know, we did a yoga session. And for those of you who are not local, we can set up virtually, and you can certainly follow along as well.
Looks Judy's got her hand up.
Kathy, just a quick one. So what do you do with, I've got people in my life who are, for whatever reason, I can't do yoga. And, I know it's for everybody. I do yoga every day. How do you, what would you say? Is there a couple positions? Is there a couple things to get people to say, oh, wait, I can do this?
There's some, what I would say, first of all, is you have to be mindful of your body, right? So just knowing how it feels. But there's some very simple things, just cat-cow, which is a very simple on all fours, and just linking breath and movement, right? So just beginning to understand that your body can move in certain ways. I never think about poses as the destination. It's always about moving in the direction of. So it really is always, listening to your body, using your props, modifying so that, your body sort of begins to lengthen in ways, become more flexible so that you can access poses a little bit deeper. And that's why in my classes, when I teach them, I'm always really starting with props and showing modifications. And then as you become more experienced, you go a little bit deeper into it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Just some feedback from you guys. How did everybody feel about that simple breathing
Awesome.
exercise from the beginning? Did that connect with you? Did that help you feel a little calmer, a little bit, just getting out of everything out your head?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was very good.
Got a lot of nodding heads.
Okay.
I
Nice.
just wanna-
Relaxing. It's relaxing too, Kath, because
Yeah.
you're being
I just
more
wanna say-
mindful.
In support of yoga and Kathy, I think that anybody who has issues, and I've got my own set, it really has transformed my body in a way that I had no idea was possible. And it's just about giving it time to let it do its business. So you don't want to give up. I think that it's super important. So
Well, that's a good point, Judy. It doesn't, it's not a one and done. You don't go to one yoga class and all of a sudden transform your flexibility, your balance. It's something that just happens sort of gradually over time, the more that you're consistent with it. And studies show that really, if you do it once a week, one class a week, you will see a difference. So it's not something like, oh, I have to do yoga every single day or 3 times a week. And people who connect with it do that, and that's
Right.
good. But for those that are starting out and just saying, how do I fit this in? 1 hour a week really does start to make a change. And I actually did that for many, many years, and it made that shift for me.
unlike going to a weight room or where you see immediate gratification, I think that's the thing that I learned the hard way, was that it just takes time.
It does. It absolutely takes time. Yeah. Yep. All right.
I'm gonna pause or stop the recording.